You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the January 23rd meeting of the Michigan City Port Authority Commission. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Michigan City Port Authority Board of Directors meeting, January 23rd, 2023. I call the meeting to order. And I'm looking for approval or corrections of January 9th, 2023 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any comments from the public? Mr. Freeze?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to say, I'm not here representing anybody but myself, and I've been to a few of the board meetings now since September, October, and some different issues been brought up, safety and board responsibilities and so on and so forth. And went back and watched a couple of meetings that I missed, and there's been some rather tense moments, exchanges back and forth. And I just want to say, my opinion is I don't think anybody on the board wants to feel like they're being attacked from the voters or accused of not doing their job or whatever. And I don't think any of us as voters want to feel like our concerns are being dismissed or being laughed at or whatever by board members. So I think what I would like to see kind of happen is maybe you've got a new year coming, maybe we can hit the reset button, and I would like the board to feel like the voters are on their side, and I would like the voters to be able to feel that the board's on our side for however we can work together to make the marina better. I know a lot of the concerns from, I know myself, is people talk about security. I think none of the boards here want to see this marina turn into a Chicago or a Gary, and not that it's going that way, but it's just a concern with the way things are today. So I think that was the reason for a lot of the security issues. Mm-hmm. But I'm just hoping that going forward, maybe we can put the differences aside and I say kind of hit a reset button. Maybe if there's something that the board or Tim or Mary Ann or Brian needs from us voters that we could help with as far as information, or I know last meeting I think we talked a little bit more about dock reps, maybe trying to get something with more communication with them. Maybe that would help. I don't know. But I just want to throw that out there and say I don't think either side, likes what has happened the last few meetings, and maybe we kind of start fresh this new year. Hopefully it's not a bad year as far as communications or a bad voting year or whatnot. We can start fresh and
Definitely.
go forward. So
Thank you.
I think we appreciate what you guys do, and I know it's hard. So thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you for your comments. And just to kind of feed off that just a hair, is that we have looked into a lot of security things that we are doing. Like I said, we're just not going to give everybody in the world the game plan.
Sure.
But there has been a lot of things that have happened and are happening on that front. And considering there's 3 voters sitting here at this table, that our mission was never to get on this board that may be a detriment. Our mission was to be a positive to the marina.
Sure.
Because we live and see it. So granted, not everybody sees that way, and granted, everybody's kind of lives in their own little dock space, little areas, and don't get outside of it and really doesn't know what's going on all the time. That happens. But we're definitely are looking forward to trying to make better communication and more information throughout the marina in different spaces. So that's definitely on the agenda.
And what you just said, I think what might be of interest or important to somebody on the 700-800 dock might not be the same thing on the 200-300 dock, just because of the locations of the docks. And we don't have an issue over here with gates being left open by charter people, if that's the case. So they have some of the different issues that we have, and
Right.
so I know everything.
When people are involved, you have issues. That's just the way it's going to work in the world.
I know.
So, but I appreciate that. So thank you very much. Any other comments from the public? We're all good? All right, reports from the harbor master.
All right, last week, representatives from MEE, that's Marine Electrical Equipment, they supplied all the equipment for our 7-800 dock electrical upgrade. And from Midwestern Electric, they're actually the electricians that installed it all, went through the punch list that Colin from Edgewater and myself and their electrical engineer provided. And MEE and Midwestern believe they've completed the punch list. So Colin will be down probably later this week, though it might end up slipping into next week. We're gonna spot check some more stuff, and we're currently trying to schedule the electrical engineer to come back and finish his more thorough testing. And then hopefully we'll be finished with that project. Down at Trail Creek, we continue to work on the winter projects I mentioned last week. We're doing a bit of an upgrade and overhaul and repairs to our small barge. We have some work to do on our big barge that's currently out here in the gas dock. It'll be going to B&E tomorrow to get the one engine addressed. We're building a ramp attendant shed for the ramp down there. We've pulled the floating piers out of the ramp. We're going to work on those some, replace some of the floats. And so those things are all in progress. Also, notice is either out right now or will be out tomorrow, requesting bids to dredge out the forklift well and the hoist well at Trail Creek. And we expect to open those bids on our meeting on February 13th. So Edgewater Resources and us worked out what we need to do there. We finally got all the permits for Trail Creek, so we can bid that job out, get it out of the way before we start launching things for the summer. I'm still waiting on a permit or two for the launch ramp down here at Washington Park, but we have a little more time with that since we don't use that for our own launching, and there is one lane that's usable there at the moment. So when we get that permit out of the way, then we'll look at when's a good time to get that sand cleared out of there. But that's all I have for now, unless anybody has any questions.
No questions? All right, reports from the assistant harbor master, Ms. Flicky.
The new rules and regulations have been sent to our webmaster and should be up in the next day or two. The office is starting to go through the website to update anything that needs updated. If anybody sees anything, if they could send us and let us know. Or if you don't feel that the interpretation is right, just let us know what you see. And that's all I have.
That's all you have? All right, Mr. Ferguson isn't here today, so I will go over the bills. The bill's total is $20,765.58. One of the biggest bills are the stickers. That's what the Beecher printer, business printers are, most of the window stickers and everything. So Larson Danielson's construction, which because we're still doing work. And
This was for a Trail Creek project for trimming down the lip, so it's easier for the forklift.
okay, so that's what that is. Indian Power and Revenue, that's to 12,581. And Edgewater Resources in Larson Daniels construction of 53,402.50, and that's I'm assuming one of the payments that's supposed to do.
There's 107,000 to do the paperwork, if anybody wanted to see it.
Okay. All right. So that's our total of that. Total of $20,765.58 for regular bills. The state $581, and construction due bills of $53,402.50.
Make a motion to pay the bills?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. That takes care of that. Mr. Haynes, claims and insurance.
I have nothing to report. New year, new policy.
Yeah, new fund. All right. Better than the old fund, new fund. Okay, port and operation personnel, I'm happy to say that pretty much everything is in place. We just need to start looking at summer help. That's pretty much it. But Brian has his people pretty well aligned down there, so it seems like everything's working smoothly, so I'm happy to say that. And there's a lot of things going on, so that's the other part of it. Mr. Messina, Voter Communications Special Events.
I have no communications with any voters, no special events. I do have a note down here that I'm going to stand correctly for the last meeting. I stated I was licensed in CPR and defibrillator training. And I've taken a course. I'm not licensed. I'm only certified, and I have a letter of certification. So just a clarification for that. That's all I have.
Oh, yeah? Perfect. All right, Mr. Mander is not here, and there's not really anything to cover in special projects right now. Ms. Buettner, advertising, public relations.
Just waiting for the sponsorship packages to be released before we make that commitment to what events we're doing. And that's all I have to report.
Perfect. All right. Mr. Zachnew, attorney's report.
I actually have nothing new to report this meeting.
What? Let me down.
I'm apologizing. Nothing new.
All right. There's one new business thing. I wanted to get a committee together and look at putting on a few CPR classes for the marina and for whoever would sign up. So I would like to get a couple people that might be interested in looking into that so we can set up some classes for CPR for people that want to learn CPR. It's going to be up to them, but I'll make it available for the people in the marina to be able to do that, because everything you've seen, well, especially with the last thing that happened to the football player, the most important thing that happened to him, someone did CPR. That was the most important thing, and that's, I think, give more and more people learn that. It'll just make the marina a better space. So I'll look forward to putting together whoever wants to be in that committee. Other than that, there's old business, nothing to cover. And I don't know if anyone else, any other communication you wanted to say?
I just had a quick follow-up with a question to Tim. When you were talking about the dredging over here at the marina, were they going to think about possibly being able to use both ramps then once the dredging got done?
Yeah.
Okay, good, thank you.
All right, so nothing else to be said. I'm looking for.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
There we go. Very good.
Well,